For decades, Canada has been described as a maritime nation that forgot its navy. 3 oceans, vast trade routes, Arctic waters opening faster than ever. Yet, until recently, the Royal Canadian Navy often felt like an afterthought in global sea power conversations. But something is changing, quietly, gradually, and more seriously than many realize. This isn't about flashy aircraft carriers or power projection headlines. This is about momentum, and whether Canada's Navy is finally adapting to a world that no longer allows maritime complacency. The global maritime environment is more dangerous than it has been in generations. Russia is reasserting naval power in the Arctic and North Atlantic. China is expanding its blue water navy at historic speed. Sea lanes, once assumed safe, are now contested, monitored, and sometimes weaponized. For Canada, this isn't abstract geopolitics. 90% of global trade moves by sea. Canada's economy, sovereignty, and alliances all depend on secure oceans, from the Pacific to the Atlantic to the rapidly transforming Arctic. And the pressure is on. For years, the Royal Canadian Navy struggled with aging ships, delayed procurement, and shrinking operational availability. Modernization programs moved slowly. Crews stretched thin. Critics questioned whether Canada could still contribute meaningfully to NATO maritime operations. The problem wasn't lack of professionalism. Canadian sailors consistently proved their skill abroad. The problem was scale, readiness, and long-term planning. That gap is now being addressed. At the center of this change is the Canadian Surface Combatant Program, the largest naval procurement in Canadian history. These future warships are designed not just to replace old hulls, but to redefine how Canada fights at sea. Integrated air defense, advanced sensors, cyber resilience, and interoperability with allied fleets. Meanwhile, Arctic and offshore patrol vessels are already reshaping Canada's northern presence, not as symbols, but as practical tools for sovereignty, surveillance, and partnership with northern communities. Just as important is doctrinal adaptation. The RCN is aligning more closely with NATO's evolving maritime strategy, emphasizing joint operations, undersea awareness, and high-end conflict readiness, not just peacetime patrols. This is not a revolution. It's a recalibration, and that matters. Naval power isn't just about fighting wars. It's about preventing them. A credible navy reassures allies, deters adversaries, and gives diplomats leverage before crises escalate. Canada doesn't need to dominate the seas, but it does need to be taken seriously on them. And increasingly, it is. Canadian warships are deploying more frequently with allied task groups. Canadian officers are shaping multinational operations, and Canada's maritime voice, once muted, is growing clearer within NATO councils. Momentum builds trust, and trust builds influence. This optimism isn't blind. Delays, cost overruns, and personnel shortages remain real risks. Shipbuilding timelines will test political patience. Recruitment and retention will define whether new platforms reach their potential. Momentum can stall if commitment fades, but for the first time in years, the trajectory is forward. Canada's sea power renaissance won't arrive with a single launch or headline. It will arrive quietly, through readiness, presence, and credibility. And in today's oceans, that may be the most powerful signal of all.